It is 1978. You're running alongside a road in an attempt to meet up with some friends at a concert. You may not make it in time on foot, so you decide to try and hitchhike. A kind stranger slows down alongside you and offers to take you to the concert if you come back and hang out at his place for a while. To you, it sounds like a very appealing idea, so you accept. Once at his home, you both drink beers, lift weights, talk, and listen to music. You soon realize that if you don't leave soon, you'll be late for meeting with friends. You let the kind man know that we should go soon, however, he wants to stay longer. You reluctantly agree. After another attempt on asking to leave, you decide to go yourself. You suddenly feel a sharp throbbing pain on the back of your head and you're on the ground. You turn over, and suddenly the stranger is now strangling you with the barbell. As you gasp for your last bits of air, everything goes black. Today, we talk about Jeffrey Dahmer. One of America's most infamous serial killers dates all the way back to June 1978. He is known for ending the lives of 17 men. The most common way that Jeffrey took the lives of his victims was that he typically lured them back to his home or apartment, drugged them by lacing their drink with sleeping pills, then continued to strangle them. I'm in no way trying to make fun of or disrespect any of the victims or their families. I simply want to spread awareness of the monster that was Jeffrey Dahmer. So what exactly did he do? Well, he usually pretended to be a photographer and offered to pay the person for photos that he would take. This is the more common tactic that he would use. And like I stated before, he would offer them a drink which was likely alcoholic, and then the unsuspecting person would drink it, not knowing it was laced with sleeping pills. At this point, Jeffrey would most likely have his way with them or outright strangle them. Either way, he would end up killing them, most likely dismembering their body, then start to dissolve them in acid. He did this because he wanted to collect the bones and bury them around his home. One of these unfortunate victims was Anthony Sears, in which Jeffrey did keep his mummified head with him for a period of time. Why did he commit these deranged acts? Why would he destroy the lives around him? To understand that, we first need to take a look at his past. It would be an understatement to say that his past wasn't good. His father was absent most of the time due to work, and his mother, according to Lionel, Jeffrey's father, was always on prescription drugs and mentally unstable. He also claimed for her to be a hypochondriac, meaning she was always apprehensive or anxious about her health. Now, what does this mean and why am I bringing it up? When a child is growing up in a toxic environment, they're more prone to being unstable, or in other words, having trouble controlling their actions. Personally, I believe none of this excuses what he did. Jeffrey grew up to be a monster and I absolutely despise him. I don't even want to acknowledge all the people that were essentially falling in love with him or making fan edits glorifying his actions. And honestly, to all the people that are doing these things, they need to fucking talk to someone. Like, you understand this guy absolutely destroyed lives and the families will never be the same, including his own. It should go without saying, but I guess some people need to hear this, that this was not a good thing and this is completely awful and I hope something like this never happens again. I feel like an important topic to discuss is his family. For those of you who don't know who Dave Dahmer is, he's Jeffrey's brother. Not a lot of people really know who he is or what he's up to, but for what I've been able to find from research, according to family members, he has a good career, a wife, and 2 children. I felt as if it was important to include him since I wanted to provide some closure for that end of the story. Personally, I don't blame him at all for changing his identity. I cannot imagine the rough times he's had to endure because of all this. There's probably so many opportunities for jobs and schools that he's had to pass up because he's related to Jeffrey. And then of course Lionel. Every interview I watch him in, you can just see the regret in his eyes, and I can tell he really wants to go back and redo things and make sure that he's more involved and does everything he can to prevent this. Unfortunately, we'll never be able to reverse time to prevent these horrible actions committed by Jeffrey Dahmer, and I just wanted to read the list of names that Dahmer unfortunately took. 18-year-old Stephen Hicks, 24-year-old Stephen Tuomi, 14-year-old James Dockstader, 22-year-old Richard Guerrero, 24-year-old Anthony Sears, 32-year-old Raymond Smith, 27-year-old Edward Smith, 22-year-old Ernest Miller, 22-year-old David Courtney Thomas, 17-year-old Curtis Strader, 19-year-old Errol Lindsay, 31-year-old Anthony Hughes, 14-year-old Conrad Synthesophone, 20-year-old Matthew Turner, 23-year-old Jeremiah Winberger, 24-year-old Oliver Lacey, and 25-year-old Joseph Bradhoft. I deeply apologized if I mispronounced any of their names. If I did, please correct me. May they rest in peace. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. This was a very difficult topic to discuss and very different from my last video. As I said, I would like to take this channel in a horror direction, talking about horror games or real life events. If you have watched this far into the video, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all the support you guys have shown me in the last video. Again, I'm open to any criticism and I would love to improve. That's gonna do it for now. See ya.